I want to remind you of one thing to try to imagine, and that is here the day is different from the day described by Philip Larkin or by Felix Chong. Here the day is a bit like natural existence. And then this kind of natural existence can grow in us and upward through us. And then if we look at it this way, then the moon rising out of the armpit is a natural movement. This is like the moment we wake up, we have a kind of energy or a kind of natural element growing stronger and stronger in us, and then it gets released in the evening. Okay, 我不知道气功, I don't know anything about 气功 or anything like that, but I think that a lot of exercise, a lot of kinds of exercise, ask us to be in contact with the ground, or to work on breathing in and breathing out. And I think that that's all. These are all ways for us to be open, to open up our body to the natural environment, so that we are not too closed off. If we are too closed off, then maybe there could be tension, too much tension in the body. So I kind of feel this description, as a very abstract but also literal one of talking about the circulation, the movement in the body in one day. How in our body the circulation may not be closed off just within the body, like from the heart, 什么动脉到静脉，是不是？ like it's just the pumping of the heart, circulation within the veins, but it's also something flowing out of our forehead, flowing out of all the holes of our body. The body actually has a lot of holes, including pores, including 汗腺. Okay, the parts where you have the liquids emitted from your body. And this is not to mention the other kinds of holes like eyes, mouth, our anus, etc., etc. So the body itself has a lot of channels for us to communicate with the outside world. And I think this is what it's talking about. Of course, Tiffany's description of the moon as the new moon as the veins, I think this is also another way of making us feel that we look like nature, so that's another kind of making the connection. Okay, so I think both interpretation can work. For instance, just now Kara said that having knees of stone means we are strong. Okay, so that's one element, and then we have wrinkles like the new moon. So that's one kind of interpretation. But the other thing is to try to imagine how inside and outside our bodies there are natural elements which are in communication with one another. Yeah, okay. When you breathe in and breathe out, it's actually a kind of exchange between the internal body, what's inside the body and what's outside. Okay, and specifically armpit, I would see as a place where there's more sweat. So armpit, like with nose, with our nose we have through our nose we have the exchange of the air, our nose and breathing. But with armpit, maybe it's the exchange of liquid, the liquid inside us and liquid outside us. Okay, so that's why the armpit, the veins running through the armpits can be like rivulets under wine leaves. So I think that's where the connection is. Okay, the liquid elements in nature and in our body. Yeah. Okay. So why can we be dispossessed of these things? Why can we be dispossessed? How about Kobe? So why can we be dispossessed of this? And what is this? You have never possessed anything as deeply as this. I guess it would be scary if he meant the ants running over our eyelids, right? But I think this suggests more than just the ants. So what does this mean? And this is all you have owned.
This could mean nature. We all are part of the nature, so we can't possess it, but we are part of this. So this is all you have owned. So it means we are part of nature, but we can't possess it.
Cannot possess it.
Yeah.
But he said you have never possessed anything as deeply as this. So we have always possessed this deeply. I think you are right. I think you said that we are part of nature. So it's not the kind of possession as if we own a keychain, a bunch of keys, and that's something we hold in our hands, but something external to us. To possess something deeply means to have something in us. Yeah. Okay. Because this kind of possession is something inside us. We'll never lose it. Okay. Can anyone else try to again explain what this means? This is not nature. You cannot say that nature is all you have owned. You still have to define what this means. Okay. Karen?
I think this here means the body we have from the first outcry through forever, and we possess our body, which is strongly connected with the nature.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I think that's what he talks about. But you cannot say that this means body. You cannot say that this means body or this means the natural object. We should say that this means the parts of our body which are in correspondence to nature. Because it's inside our body and also outside our body, so we will not lose it. As long as we are open, and then the communication, the correspondence can continue. Okay. Do you have any question about this point? Okay. So the poem is just apparently difficult. Difficult only because maybe for you having ants cross over our eyelids is something scary, or it's hard to understand how our veins can be moonlit. But remember that here the whole description is from the beginning of the day till the evening time. So it's a kind of metaphoric description of the development of the day in us. And the day here includes natural phenomena, not just our own daily actions. So this makes the day here different from the way the days are described in the other two poems we have read. Okay? Yes, I think that these are the summaries. I will have to change this. There are 3 imperative statements, followed by a definitive statement. And then the lines. With this section, we are also talking about rhyme and rhythm, but some of the poems are not really traditional poetry. No, like this one, I think it's pretty much free verse. Let me double check. Yes, it's a free verse. Okay, so the alternation of the lines and also the pattern. The pattern is established through the imperatives. Okay, and then also the alternation of the lines. It does not have as many repetition as what Whitman's free verses have. Okay, but this is still a free verse with its own pattern, without end rhymes. Okay, without end rhymes. No, really to suggest the naturalness of the development of our body and also in nature. Okay. So it's pretty much the correspondence and communication among the body, between the body and nature, and also I think it's also to do with human nature, how human nature is part of nature. Okay. This is just for your interest. One of our colleagues whom you have not met yet, Dr. Ray Schulte, he collected this as one from the stall of a bathroom wall of early on when he was in Harvard. There's no gravity. The earth just sucks. I think here it's just some graffiti lines, but some meanings are implied in the description of earth here. Because for one thing, it's in the bathroom wall, so it's to do with maybe the toilet. So there is this idea that when you flush the toilet, it seems that the earth sucks. Sucks something out of you. Okay, but then on the other hand, you can also talk about growth, our development and growth as decay. In a constant process of decaying. So in that sense, what the earth takes from us is our energy. The earth continues to suck energy out of us, and then we grow older and older. So this is another view different from Earth. In Darrell Walker's Earth, the natural environment is nourishing us, nourishing our body, and then interconnecting with our body. Okay, but here the view of the earth is more pessimistic. Okay. Okay, the second point, I think this is easier. So let's get another group, and then maybe one of you to read it for us. How about group 3?
In the grass. A narrow fellow in the grass occasionally writes, "You may have met him, did you not? His note is sudden is, the grass divided as with the comb. A spotted shaft is seen, and then it closes at your feet, and opens further on. He likes a boggy acre, a floor too cool for a crown. Yet when a boy and barefoot, I more than once at noon have passed, I thought, a whiplash, unbraiding in the sun, when stooping to secure it, raincoat, and was gone. Several of nature's people I know, and they know me. I feel for them a transport of cordiality, but never met this fellow, attended or alone, without a tighter breathing, and zero at the bone."
Okay, thank you. Yeah, don't forget to produce in German. Remember, in German means that there is a break at the end of the line, but that's not the end of a sentence. Okay, like I feel for them a transport of cordiality. So a short pause here, okay, but not complete break, or the tone should not fall. Okay. So here, let me paraphrase it for you, and then give you the questions. Usually when you read poetic lines, the first thing, when you try to read and understand its literal meanings, maybe sometimes you need to straighten out the sentence pattern. Okay, like in this case, a narrow fellow in the grass occasionally writes. The verb is rise. So it means a narrow fellow occasionally writes in the grass. Okay, so then the question for you right from the start is, why rise? Why rise in the grass? Of course, you need to understand, how the snake is described. Why the snake is called a narrow fellow. This is like because I could not stop for that. Death is described as a gentleman, and here the snake is described as a narrow fellow. A fellow means somebody who is in the same position, in the same group, who has the same job, or who is sympathetic with you. So why is a snake described as a fellow? Okay, and then rise in the grass. Okay, you may have met him, and so here the speaker is speaking to you. Did you not? His notice is sudden. Again, there is a inversion of the verb and adjective. His notice is sudden. The grass divides as with a comb. So he divides the grass as if he were a comb. Like spreading the grass dividing the grass on two sides, like dividing the hairline. Okay, a spotted shaft. So again, here this is a metaphor. Okay, a spotted shaft. The snake is a spotted shaft. Is seen. Then it closes at your feet. So the grass is the snake divides up the grass to two sides, and then closes at your feet when it is gone. It passes through you. Okay, so that's the idea, and opens further on. So basically, in the first two stanzas, the speaker describes how the snake, how you can see the snake riding the grass, dividing the grass as if dividing a hairline out of the hair. Okay, and then as it passes through you, then the grass will close, and then the grass is open further on in some place away from you. Okay, so that's a whole movement of the snake, or of a shaft-like snake, 像是个剑一样, very swift but very straightforward and fast. Okay, and then the third stanza, he likes a boggy acre, a floor too cool for corn. So basically, it's described that the snake likes the soft and wet ground. Okay, but then the soft and wet ground is not warm, it's cold. Okay, so it's a cold and dampy place that the snake likes, and it's not a place good for corn. And then corn can be a representative of something we eat. Okay, so snake here is different from where we see as a harvest place, a place where we can get human food. And then here, there's a major transition. The version I got from on the PowerPoint is different from the textbook version. Like just now, Jamie read when a boy. Yes, here the version is has a child, but I guess it doesn't really make too much difference. Okay, when a boy, barefoot. So here the speaker, maybe it would be better if we use a boy, because here then there is a distance between Emily Dickinson and this speaker. We won't see Emily Dickinson as definitely the speaker, as we would maybe in the previous two poems. I'm nobody, and also because I could not stop for death. Okay, so here there is a switch to the past tense, to the childhood of the speaker when he meets barefoot the snake more than one time. And at first, the speaker saw that it's a whip, or whiplash, unbraiding in the sun. Unbraiding, like braiding is 像是辫子一样, being intertwined, twined together. But then unbraiding, like being straightened out, being loosened out. Okay, so he feels that the snake is like a whiplash, unbraiding in the sun. But then, when the child is interested and tries to take the whiplash, because children are interested. They usually like to play with whatever is around, so they want to go and take it. It wrinkles and it was gone. Okay, so wrinkle, the snake all of a sudden try to avoid the boy. Okay, so it wrinkles and was gone. So this is the second part of the poem, which described the speaker's childhood and how the snake evaded the speaker. And then the following two stanzas describe the speaker's connection with nature's people. which is a connection different from the speaker's feeling about the snake. So he says, several of nature's people I know, and they know me. I feel for them a transport of cordiality, a transport, a feeling of cordiality, being friendly, being formal, polite, and friendly. Okay, but never without. This is double negative. But I never met this fellow, attended or alone, without a tighter breathing, feeling nervous, and then my breathing becomes shorter and tighter, and a zero at the bone, that I feel some chill at my bone or down my spines. Okay, so that's the idea that the speaker says that to nature's people he can be friendly, he can be polite, but he or she is always afraid of the snake, whenever he or she met a snake.